Alright, the first thing you want to do is jack up the left side of the vehicle. Now I know there's a lot of instructions out there in videos and people telling you you don't even have to jack up the car, jack up the vehicle, but I'm going to tell you why you must do this. Alright, once you get it jacked up, you want to have it secured with a jack stand, and my hydraulic jack is going to be there as added security. Make sure you're using a high quality jack stand because this truck is heavy. You don't want to use a cheesy one in the car, this vehicle drop down on you. Also, what's most important is the foundation. Your foundation has to be solid. It can't be dirt, grass, or maybe asphalt, but you don't want anything that would cause this jack to sink into the ground. I'm in concrete, so I'm good to go. If you have to do it on dirt or asphalt, make sure you use a nice piece of 2x12, something thick, plywood to go serve as a base for that jack stand. Do not use particle board. Use plywood. Alright, let's move on. Alright, now here's the reason why you should jack this vehicle up. Because we're going to be removing the exhaust manifold. The exhaust manifold is this metal piece right here, all the way to the back. Underneath the exhaust manifold, like right there, you see one bolt. Right there. That.
I couldn't tell where you. Okay, I see it.
Okay. There's a series of bolts in the bottom that's holding that head on. Now, as I've seen guys they take the bolts out for the exhaust manifold and pry it back to get to those bolts. What they don't tell you is that if you do that, when you go back to put this back together and you have to torque those bolts down, that exhaust manifold will be in the way and you will not get the correct torque. The correct way of doing this is removing this exhaust manifold. Now, so the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to take you underneath the truck with me, and in the back there's going to be 3 15mm nuts that has to come off. Now if you're in a rust infested area, you definitely want to take some PB Blaster, not WD-40, take some PB Blaster and let them 3 nuts, spray them 3 nuts and let them set for a few hours. The worst case scenario is that you snap those studs off, which I'm about to show you. Oh, especially when I get it back, and you just take it to a machine shop and they'll charge you like $20 a piece for which ones you broke. That's the best way of doing this, guys. Trust me, do not do it that way. All right, so let me show you the tool we're going to use, and then we're going to get up under there and remove those nuts. All right, now what you're going to need is a 12-inch half-inch drive extension, a 6-inch half-inch drive extension, and you're going to need a swivel extension, half-inch swivel extension. Now on 2 of the nuts up under there, you don't have to use this. You can use a deep socket. This socket is kind of shallow, and it will not, if you put it on like this and put it up there, because of the stud, you will not be able to get that up there. So here's a little trick you're going to do, because you're going to have to do this on one of them. If you put this on the nut, it's going to go, but the stud is going to still stick out. So what you're going to do is put this socket on. You're not going to put the socket on all the way like that. You're just going to put it on just like that, and that's going to give you enough depth to get that out. Now I know it might seem confusing right now, so we're going to go up under there and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Alright guys, here we are up under here, and you're looking at, there's the O2 sensor. Dang it, man, this light sucks. Get some light in here. Alright, there's your O2 sensor. There's one nut, and see how the studs come down? That's what I was talking about. This one right here is the difficult one, which you're going to need to solve because the cat is right in the way, so you don't have much room. Now, if I was to take this socket and put it on, and I go up here and try to put this on right now, see? And now, also, it's a 15mm if I didn't say so. It won't go on. Now, what I'm going to do here is take the socket off. Whoops. And just put it on just a little bit, just like I told you to do. Now, on those 2 right there, you can use a deep. And now, since I got it on partial way, look at that. Goes right on perfectly. Now, the reason why you're going to have to do the swivel, because this one right here, You need that swivel to go in there, and it goes right up there. Get your 1/2-inch drive ratchet and take that loose. Now we're going to show you a different angle from outside, but you're not going to be able to see me do the one over here, but you might be able to see me bring the tool up and all, and we're going to loosen those up. All right, now you're from the top and you're going to look at it from the side. You see how I'm going with the socket?
Okay, but the one that one in the back
is a better one.
No, I can't see that one, but I can see the other two.
Hold it. You can see this one right here?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a difficult one, so that's great. All right, now if you notice, you see my socket is just barely on my swivel. So, this one you can see good? No, this one. The other two.
Right, the other two.
All right, so let's go over here. Push it on.
Wait, that one I can. Oh, okay, I saw part of your socket.
Hold, you need to see the socket, how I got up there for you?
No, you're good, you're good.
All right, so we're going to go up here. Put that on. Grab my 1/2-inch ratchet. Are you okay with it?
Yeah, it's just like I don't get to see much of that one.
Which one? Then let me know.
The other two.
This one?
I can see that one.
Okay, so we can go up on this one. Oh my God, these things are tight. So you might have to make sure you get a good ratchet. Holy cow! All right, so guys, what I'm gonna have to do is get me a bigger ratchet, or you know what? I got my 1/2-inch drive impact gun up under here. Let me see if that will. So now that you know how tight these things are, that's ridiculous. Okay, let me try my gun. That came down. All right, so you know what? For these two right here, let me get an actual 15mm deep to try to break these loose. All right, guys, for two of these bolts, what I changed over to is a deep 15mm impact 1/2-inch drive and my little wobble extension. Let me show you what that is. It's the wobble extension. And what I got is a bigger ratchet so I can get more leverage. So let's go up under this one right here. Get that on. Get my bigger ratchet. Oh my God, these things are tight. Oh my God, that's tight. And this actually feels like it might break off.
Oh, jeez. Are you using the tire?
It was, yeah. That just stripped right off. Alright guys, we have definitely ran into a problem already in the beginning. Those nuts are really tight, and actually they started stripping off. That sucks. So this is what I'm going to do. There's two ways of doing this. One, you can get a little torch to try to heat up the nuts to take them off. Or what I'm going to do, being that I started stripping, I'm going to actually reach up there and chisel it. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this now is because in a minute when we start doing this, we're going to have on earmuffs to block out the sound. You definitely want to use it to protect your ears. And I'll probably mute the video so it don't be so annoying up there to you. I don't know. I'll see how that play back. All right. So, and what I got is two chisels. I made sure they had nice points to them. And I'm not sure which one I'm going to use, but I'm going to go up underneath. And the idea is to chisel the nut, and we're gonna we're gonna put the light on one of them for you to see and to show you how I'm doing it without. I'm gonna try to do this without damaging the stud. Now, the idea of this is to catch a corner of the nut and start hammering it counterclockwise to actually vibrate that enough that it will start loosening up, and then I can just knock a whatever socket on it to get it off. So let's get right to it. So that turn?
Yep.
Can you see this one? Whoops.
No.
This light sucks. Can you see this one right here?
Yeah.
I might have to cut off actually. Holy cow, man. Hey, I got it off, and this thing should be turning right now. It's shearing the whole bolt off. The nut off, rather. That's good. Good. I don't care. Man, let me get to this one. Get it. You can't see this one, right?
No.
Alright, I'll get that one over there. You know, let me get him. Alright, let me get some more air. Alright guys, I'm on the outside. I'm gonna try from out here. I got the air going. I'm yelling because I got my earmuffs on. I want to be careful with these lines right here. Did I turn it?
The chisel was kind of in my way, so I couldn't really.
The what was in the way?
The chisel. I mean, I saw you chisel, but I'm not sure if it turned.
Pay attention, because I can't really see it. Pay attention to the top half up there. You know, the top half of the nut that flares out?
Oh.
Right. Hold on.
Let me get a good angle.
Alright, you see the nut right there?
Yeah.
Now the nut flares out at the end, right up here. You see that little part right there?
Oh, hold on. I don't want to be in your way either. Okay, I got it.
You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Alright, see if that can turn. Because
Okay.
the chisel won't be in that way.
Yeah, it turned.
Alright, we got two turning. Now I'm going to go up under there and chisel the other one loose. And then we're going to figure a way of getting them off. Alright, now that we got them turning, that's definitely a plus. Now to get them off. Now this is what you're going to have to be creative, guys. Now you know it's no longer a 15 millimeter. So you're going to have to get either a 12, 13, or 14 to try to knock them on and get it to turn. Or, well, I like these Irwin screw stud extractors, or these things are great. Now, in order for me to use these, I'm going to have to get a socket because of the stud on it. Put them in here. Now this one's a 14 millimeter. Oh yeah, I'm just going to knock that on and see if I can turn that off. And let's go up here, get the right thing. You can see two of them through that way. See if this works. Okay, let's go with the one closest to you and see if this works. Okay, let's try the 14 millimeter like I got, and get a couple of extensions. Alright, get a hammer, and I gotta knock that on. Hopefully it grabbed. Get my 3/8 ratchet. Turn it.
Doesn't look like it. Maybe it did. Maybe it did. Go ahead.
Oh no! Dang it! Didn't even go on, did it?
No, it looks like it has to go further up.
All right, let me see if I can. Is it moving?
Not really.
Cow. Still no, huh?
No.
All right, let me see.
Oh, it's turning.
Just slipped off.
Yeah.
The nut was turning though?
Yeah, it was.
Okay. Problem is, I'm not on all the way.
Right.
Didn't go up any, did it?
A little bit, but not all the way up. It's turning. It's going. And then now it's not. Okay, there it goes. It's like on and off.
That's because this thing cannot get enough grabbed up there. That still didn't get up there. This is just...
It's turning.
And then it's not. Because it seems like it's just...
What about some vice grips? Can you use that too?
I don't have the space to get in
Oh.
here. And make sure that the stud can go through there. It can. You know, I should have just tried to chisel the nut right off, right in half. Nut is a... What I'm going to try to do is take the half inch, just try to... No, that ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. Well, if it would have moved, you would have told me, so it didn't go nowhere.
It might be enough that it can turn for a little bit. It's turning a little bit. Nope.
These things just suck, man. You know what, guys? I'm not even gonna mess with this, man. I'm gonna chisel this thing till it come off completely.
It's not like you can reuse the nut.
I'm gonna chisel them till they actually break in half. So this is this just ain't happening. Yeah, I can get to all of them. These things are really tight. It's unbelievable how... Let me just try one more thing here. The one that's over here. And this is the one. Stupid GM. Alright, I'm going to finish cutting them off with the chisel as much as I can and let you guys know the results. Alright guys, chiseled the mess out of them. Chiseled them right off. And I didn't completely obliterate the studs. We definitely got to change them. But let's go in here and look. Make sure I'm in the way. You can see two of them.
I can see that one right there, yeah.
And what about the other one?
See the other one.
The light has to be. Hold on. Okay. This one over here, you can see.
Yeah, but I don't see any marks.
Oh, I did that one clean. Well,
Well, at least on this side.
yeah, we're still gonna replace them all three anyway.
Yeah.
All right, so we got all three nuts completely out, which sucks, man. It really sucks. I am very surprised at that. But we got them off. Now, there's one more thing we're gonna do while the vehicle is up in the air, because GM is being that GM is dumb and they don't know how to design things. First, they design lifters that's inside. You gotta take off the head, which is really dumb. But then the original radiators don't have a drain peacock. It don't have a drain screw where you can drain the antifreeze. It's got a place for it, but it looks like they forgot to put it in there. And I'm gonna show you what I mean by that. So what we have to actually do is remove the lower radiator hose to drain the antifreeze. And I'm gonna show you how we're gonna do that, and then we can let the vehicle down. Alright, we're on the right side of the vehicle. Here's your mass airflow sensor. Now what you're going to be doing is looking right down here. I put a light down there. And down there you're going to see the radiator hose.
Oh, you're blocking the light. Or did it fall?
Stupid light, man.
Okay.
These are some stupid lights. Alright, there's the radiator hose, and you see the clamp right there? Now you can try to use some needle nose, vice grips or something to squeeze that clamp. It's a very awkward spot to get to. But what I'm going to use is, if you look right here, the actual tool that is supposed to be used for those clamps. And what you do is a ratcheting action. So you see these little gears, them teeth right there, them claws. So as I ratchets it, it'll squeeze those together, squeeze that clamp, and you know, being that it's got a flex tube to it, cable to it, I should be able to get right down there and reach it there. So first of all, let's release this out of the way. And actually guys, what we're gonna have to do is, I'm gonna set this up because I need to be in that way. You're not gonna see. So let me set this on there, and then we'll do it together. All right, guys, I got the tool hooked up. Now what I'm gonna do up here, I'm gonna squeeze the pliers, and you should see that clamp.
Is that light move?
Hold on. Let me.
Oh, okay, I see it.
You see it?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna squeeze the pliers, and you should see that clamp open up.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does it look like it's loose enough to move?
I think so.
Or should
Maybe
I?
a little more, maybe a little more.
Let's see if I can squeeze it more.
Okay, that looks pretty good.
That I can't go no more anyway.
Okay,
All right, now you got to be careful with this, guys, because there's a lot of tension on that clamp. So reaching your hand down there and try to pull it back is kind of dangerous. It's like I said, it's a stupid clamp.
I'm in your way.
I don't know if it's enough. And tell you what, let me try to. You know what? Instead of reaching my hand down there, what I'm gonna do. Oh, before I do that, come back up here for a minute. Make sure you have a pan. And what I like to do, I took a garbage can lid and I put a lot of holes in it. So, because you know, antifreeze never falls where you want it to fall. So this way, you're definitely gonna be covered. Put that up under there. And now, what I'm gonna do is take my pry bar, and with the clamp off like that, I'm gonna put my pry bar between the edge of the hose and the radiator, and I'm gonna just go around and start doing this. I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to see this because I need to see. Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
Or try to get the clamp out of the way. is the most stupidest thing, man. This thing is, it's not even moving like that. But I'm able to move the clamp a little bit. So I'm gonna squeeze this more and try to get that clamp back. And dude, now I am not reusing these clamps. You'd be a fool to reuse these clamps. Actually, I did bring the hose back. Here, go down here now.
Oh yeah.
So now, I can reach my hand down here since it's perfect. Alright, we're going to let that drain and I'm going to take that clamp off of there carefully because I'm not going to reuse that. Alright, we got the clamp out of there, and as you can see, that's how the tool works. The jaws squeeze together and squeeze that clamp together. Why they did this, I have no idea. I'll just get a long extension with a 8mm and a regular band clamp. Now to release this, let's release it over here because you want to make sure this thing comes apart. It's going to be crazy. So to release it, first let's get this right here. I got to squeeze this. And then I gotta push this lever in and then slowly release it. So squeeze it in, push that down, and you can see the clamp slowly coming apart. To release, and that's it. The good thing about these clamps is that it's constant pressure. It would never loosen up or anything. If the hose starts getting soft, it's going to keep on, stay tight. That's the good thing about it. But how often do you have a problem with the worm gear tight? It does never. So now we got this. This is garbage. It's draining. And now we can let this vehicle down and get to some work. Alright guys, before we move on, 2 little tricks that you might want to do. Number 1, you notice we took the hood off. Because the hoods don't go up too high on this. Taking the hood off gives you access to a lot more room here. You can see better. Trick number 2. Let all the air out of your front tires. That will bring this vehicle lower so it's easier to work on instead of you leaning over the vehicle and hurting your back. Alright, let's get right to it. Your battery's over here. What we're going to do is disconnect the negative terminal of the battery. And the negative terminal of the battery is going to be the one back here. It's got a 10mm nut up there. And that's all you do is loosen that 10mm nut up, twist it back and forth, pick it up. Just don't lean it like this or it'll snap right back into place and it'll cause a short somewhere. So you want to make sure you bring that and tuck that down to the side. The next thing we do over here in the front of the engine, or the top of the engine, you're going to have this cover. To take the front of the cover, pop it up, and then pull it forward. Now, when you did that, one of them came out, you got rubber grommets, one right here and one right here. This one stayed on the engine. It's going to snap on to this post and this post. And you see this one stayed on. Just pull that off like that. And just slide it right back into place just like that. And the back of it going to have 2 little tabs that you're going to push in to right up right there. Those tabs right there. See those tabs right there? Alright, and then I'm going to put this down in the party line. I'm going to explain to you what a party line is in a few minutes. Alright, the next thing we'll do is remove this air tube right here. Now you're going to have a clamp right here. So you want to take a screwdriver, loosen up the clamp. Then your upper radiator hose is going to have a clamp to it that's got a Christmas tree clip that's going to there. So that's all you're going to do, just pull that down like that, put that to the side, and then loosen up the one more clamp over here right at your mass airflow sensor. Loosen that clamp up. And now what you want to do is take the assembly, wait a minute, there's over here, over here, you got a hose This hose goes down, plastic hose goes down right there to the. And what you want to do here is you can either try to pull it out from there or try to pull it out inside here, whichever one's going to be easier. And you might have to take a screwdriver and try to, yeah, break that loose like that. Okay, there you go. Pull that hose right out of there just like that. This thing, I might have to loosen this clamp up. There we go. And take it off of here. Take that out. Put that on the party line. Alright, the next thing we do is get this little harness right here. Now here's the plug to your throttle body. This is a safety tab right here. You're going to back that up. Then you can take a screwdriver and put it right there and just back that up just like that. Take that tab right on the top, squeeze it into the connector and unplug it. Once you get that done, then you're going to go around here to the alternator. Go to the side. Now remember to have your battery disconnected. Now, first of all, you got a plug here on the top of the alternator. What you want to do is take this tab right there, squeeze it into the connector, and pick up. Put that down to the side. Then you're going to have a boot right here. Pull that boot back. That's going to uncover a 10mm nut. You're going to take your 10mm, take it off. Take the wire off, put the nut back on it so you don't lose it. Just put it on by a few threads and all, make sure it don't come off. And now you got this harness, can swing right out of the way. Alright, the next thing we do, use your same 10mm socket. That harness goes around here. Now you can either unhook it from here or you can take that 10mm bolt out right there. Take it out. Swing it to the side, put that bolt right back into place. Now, a lot of guys, what they would do is take the belt off, remove the alternator. We're not going to do that. We're going to actually take off the alternator and the power steering pump, all the bracket, all at one time, and swing that to the side. Just be careful of this upper radiator hose right here. If you want, you can take that off and swing it to the side, swing it down, but you won't. Trust me, you won't. Now, the next thing you want to do is take you a 15mm, either wrench or socket. Here's your belt tensioner right here. You want to put the socket onto here and you want to go clockwise. So when you go clockwise, notice the whole belt gets loose. Take it off this pulley, take it off the alternator, whichever one you want. Take it off. Inspect the belt. Dang it. So, you know this thing. I guess you got to make sure the hose. There we go. Alright, inspect your belt. Because if it's damaged or anything, you definitely want to replace that. And this belt looks in good condition. Alright guys, let's get ready to move this whole assembly. You're going to have 5 15mm sockets, and what I'm going to be using is a 15mm deep 3/8 drive, and I'm going to be using a 1-inch extension. Now since you're over that side, if you look right down here, right on the side of this harness, you're going to see a bolt right there.
Two bolts?
No, just one. Just this one.
The one, the bottom one?
Yeah.
Okay.
That one, that right there is a head bolt. That one right there, because that's one bolt. Let's see if... Now for this one, the steering arm might be in the way, so you might be able to... Might not have to use the extension on that one. Let's see here if I can get this. Alright. That's one. Now, in the front of the vehicle, you're going to have 1, you got it? 2, 3, easy ones to get to. But go up, you have to go up under the power steering pump, and I'm gonna put a light down here, and you see that bolt in there? That's right up under the power steering pump. So that one you want to get first. So that one was way down there and in the way. And I just have the extension. So let's go down there, and pretty much I'm gonna feel for where it's at. Okay, that one's out. It's a long bolt too. Just leave that right there. Now, let's get out the other 4 up here. Dang, 4? No, 3, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Yeah. 3. 1, 2, 3. Alright, let's get those out. And when you get the last one out, but in fact, let's take this one out all the way. Okay, we're going to put that bolt to the side. Now let's take out these, and we're going to take out the last one together. Alright, I took out 3 bolts so far. All of them are the same length. Now we just got this one right here. And as you loosen that up, the whole assembly starts to come off. So you can just hold the old hand a little bit. It's not really that heavy. Okay. Take the bolt out, put it to the side, take the whole assembly, lay it down, swing it right to the side, and this is a good time. You can get a tie strap or something. You can tie it over here, but it seems like it's holding out of the way. And oh, look at that, man. We are almost at the cylinder head already, man. Get this harness out of the way. You know what, guys? Let's take off this coolant sensor right here. Let's pick that tab up just a little bit and unplug that. Get that, because it seems like the harness is hooked up to this in a way. A little bit down there. Oh, all right. They got the harness going right on the upper side of this, right between the harness, right between the line and all. Like, that's the stupid, man. That's just real stupid. All right, so we can work with that though. Actually, I'm not really liking that. So we're gonna do, trying to figure a way of tying this over to the side over here to get it out of the way, so we don't have to put so much stress on this line. This line shouldn't have been here. It should have been on the opposite side of this metal line, but you know, that's GM for you. So you know what I might do? I might put a block of wood down there to keep this up, because I don't want a lot of tension on this. All right, let's do that. All right, the next thing you want to do is unplug all your ignition wires going to the 4 spark plugs right here. We're just going to twist it back and forth and then pull it out. Or you can get some ignition wire pliers, and they reach down there like that and unplug it as well. Alright, let's get the other 2 done and we'll move on. Alright, we got them all disconnected. The next thing you want to do is, you got plugs on each of your coils. You do not have to disconnect those. Leave those alone. Do not touch them. You got, son of a biscuit, man. This is a raggedy flashlights. What you got is one big plug here, and this plug is plugged for all the coils. So just lift that tab up a little bit and pull back on the plug and unplug it. The next thing we do, grab your 10mm deep. You're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 10mm bolts with studs on the ends. 1, and remember how this one's at the corner, because I'm not gonna really be able to show you the last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's one way in the back. So grab your 10mm and take all 5 out. Alright, once you got them all out, the whole assembly is going to come loose like that. Pick it up, take it out of the car, just like that. This is a good time that if you want, change your ignition wires. Now what I want you to do is the 5 bolts that you took out, go ahead and stick them back in the valve cover so you know exactly where they are, and then put this on the party line. Alright guys, the next thing you do, you're going to have your big vacuum line or hose here going into your brake booster. Just wiggle that back and forth, pop that out. You're going to hear a little air, that's quite alright. Then you're going to have a breather tube going to the valve cover back here. There's that stud, the last one that I said you really couldn't see. So you want to just go ahead, take that and pop that off and leave it alone. The next thing you want to do is grab you a 10mm wrench, because you got to take off these 3 bolts right here, because it holds on this plate and will hold the lines, the harnesses in here. This one is kind of hard to get to, that's why you need a wrench for that one. But the other 2, you can use a 10mm. I'm using a 1/4 inch, and take those out. Take those out, put the bolts right back in there, but put that plate to the party line. Or what you can do is take them out enough where you can get the harness out, and then put them. Nah, get it out of there. Take it out. Alright, now you got those out, your harness is going to be free right here. Now come down, your harness is also connected to, you can either disconnect it from here, a clip, or this 10mm nut right here. And I'm going to do is just disconnect that 10mm nut right there. So now your harness can come up and out of the way. Next thing you want to do, you got your map sensor right here. There's a tab right here. Just pick that tab up just a little bit and unplug it. Cool, guys, this is great. The next thing you want to do, let's get this out of the way. I can tell you to disconnect it, but you don't have to. The next thing you want to do is, you got your harness right here. We're going to have to disconnect them anyway. You know what, let's do it right here. Look at this. You got your evap tube right here. Now what you want to do, the top half of it, now right now you try to back that off, you can't. What you got to do is take your finger or a screwdriver, push in the top part like that, just back it up just enough where you're going to be able to take that off. Dang it, there we go. Put that down to the side. Now the next thing you're going to do is unplug your evap. It's got a tab over here that you just got to back up just a little bit. Just pick it up just a little bit. You pick up these too much, you'll break that off. And just unplug it. Now you're going to have 8 fuel injectors you have to disconnect. Now, just like your throttle body, here's 1 injector. And you're going to have the 1, 2, and you follow back 3 and 4. And on the other side as well. What you're going to do is they got that gray locking tab. You want to pick that up just enough. Then there's a tab right on this side. Squeeze it in and unplug it. Well, I guess this one it's hidden, so it's up under there. So you're just going to be pushing right into there and just unplug it. Let's get one more. Pick it up. And don't snatch it because you'll pull it right off. Just enough till it unlocks. Squeeze the top half of it and unplug it. Alright, let's get the rest of the 6 done. Now on this customer's car, we have bad lifters over here. So we're not even sure whether we're going to be doing this side or not. But if you have to do this side, then it's the same thing as the ignition coils and the same thing as the fuel injectors. It's a little bit more difficult to get to, it looks like. Oh, that's right, because that's off. So, you know what? In case you get it like that, get you a screwdriver and just use your screwdriver to just pop that up just enough. You see how difficult it is with that coil in the way. And that should have unplugged. What the? Oh, look at that. And the bottom it broke off or something? No, it's still. Yeah, it break off. There we go. So let's get the other ones done, and then we'll move on. All right, we got all our wiring harness and everything out of the unhooked and all. Now the next thing we'll do is grab your rag. Put your rag right around here, because we're going to disconnect this fuel line right here. Now first of all, you got to remove this tab. So the back of it, you're going to pick it up and then pull it forward, because it's got little jaws right there, little teeth that hooks into there. This is a safety just in case something goes wrong. Now inside here, there is like teeth like this. So what you got to do is open those teeth up to be able to unplug that line. You're going to be using one of these fuel disconnect tools, a 3/8 you're going to be using. And what you're going to do is this tool opens up, and there's other versions as well also, plastic ones, which will work just fine. You want to push it, snap it onto the line. You want to push it in to the connector till it can't go no more. Now, while it's in there, now what that tool did was open those teeth up, and this is what, because once you disconnect it, there's going to be a little fuel coming here, and then you want to just, while this is forward, pull back on your line. You can see it disconnecting, and just be careful, because in case fuel sprays out everywhere, it didn't. So there we go right there, and if you can see inside there, you see the little teeth I was telling you about. Alright, then take, let me get this right there. Take that off, and now we're ready to take our intake out. Alright, now to remove our intake, you're going to have 10 8mm or 5/16 bolts. And get this out of the way. Here's one right here. 1, 2, 3. Let's move this out of the way. Number 4 and number 5 is on the other side of this injector. Now, if you take a bolt right on the opposite side, you're going to see the other one that goes with it. So now what you're going to get here to get this out is an 8mm deep socket 3/8 drive and a 4-inch 3/8 drive extension, and that's going to give you perfect access. Let's start off with this one right here. Put that on just like that, and it's a good idea. Guys, make sure you get some cordless battery operated ratchets. Huh? Oh, no. Okay. Forget you. Alright, so start off with this one. Take it out just like that. Sometimes these bolts will come out, sometimes they'll just stay in with the intake. This one, they do come out, and it's a good idea to take them all out. Alright, and so let's move on down the line and take out all 10. Alright guys, we got 9 of the 10 out. The 10th one we got loose, but there is a little bracket going on to it. So we're actually going to take it all together, and I'm going to show you once we get it out. Alright, so now your intake should be loose to come out. Make sure your harness is out of the way, and you got to just keep bringing it. Oh, also, you got this breather. See this breather tube? Bleeder tube right here. It goes to both heads. And it's got a hose right here. You know what? It goes over here. Let's get that off, because that makes it a lot easier. So let's get us some needles or something. Squeeze that clamp in, bring it up, twist this to break the seal on it, and then pick it up. Okay, that's pretty long here. So be careful of that so you don't break that anything. And if you want, you can probably unbolt it and get it out. But let's see if we can pick it up enough to just get that out. Be careful of your harness. You have a big, it looks metal, but this piece right here is plastic, and your harness goes right through it. It's just hooks onto this top. So just bring it forward a little bit. Get the harness up. And keep going forward. Making sure everything is out, like just like taking out an engine. Get that out of the way. Take your whole intake right out of there. Look at that. Ooh, look at that. All right, let's go put this to the party line.
You said you were going to show us the bolt.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Let's go over here. The last bolt over here, you see I picked it up and didn't take it out because see it's got this little bracket right here, and there's another 8 millimeter bolt right there if you want to take that out, but what I did was just pick it up and I picked it up enough and just lean to the side just like that. Was able to get it out of there. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is remove our 6 13 millimeter bolts that's holding on our exhaust manifold, and I'm going to be using a 13 millimeter deep. Now if you're in a rust infested area, it's a good idea to use a 1/2 inch because a lot of rust will take off that, and a 13 might be a little bit too loose. We're going to try that right now though, the 13. I'm going here and okay, that's good. Okay, and we got one right here. One right here. So far so good. One right here. And then, which sucks, let me get a light, because that back one is not going to be fun. Can you see that back one way back there? Right on this side.
Wait. Okay, I see it.
So, hopefully, we'll be able to get in here. Nope, we're not be able to get in there with that. So, we're going to have to use a shallow 13. See if I can get with the shallow and the ratchet. Yep, but this is going to take a while though. So we're going to go ahead and take these bolts out, but I'm going to start off by taking that one out first. And this is a good time, now that we got it loose, spray it with some WD-40 or some, well actually PB Blaster, so it helps you take those bolts out. Alright, let's get all those bolts out.